As adults, we must make certain important decisions. We must choose a job, choose a career, choose a house, choose a family, choose a car. Or you could just choose a girlfriend and she'll choose all of that for you. As for the car, well, when everything's in place, the car kind of chooses you. And you can forget those dreams of growing up to one day own a Ferrari or a Bentley. What happens when you have a young family is the car ends up being something a little bit like this. Introducing the destroyer of automotive dreams, the reality check on wheels, the Nissan Qashqai. This better be good. Actually, this car has got to be damn near perfect. Otherwise, it's just going to be a constant reminder that your life hasn't quite turned out the way you'd imagined it. So let's take a closer look at it in more detail, starting with the design. Looks-wise, it's pretty attractive. In the right color, with the right wheels, and with the sun glinting off it in just the right manner, it can kind of pass for good looking. It's not as good looking as those cars you dreamed you'd own when you were a kid, but it's not a car you'd be ashamed to park outside your house rather than down the road, round the corner, under a blanket. Inside, it's the same story. It won't win any awards for design, but there are some quite nice touches like soft touch plastics and a full-length panoramic glass roof. Plus, the steering wheel can be adjusted for reach and angle, and the driver's seat can be adjusted for height, so anyone can feel comfortable inside the car. Design-wise, I completely approve. Don't I? If the design is going to be merely okay and not drop-dead gorgeous, then the Qashqai has to have perfect practicality. And luckily, it ticks a lot of boxes in this regard. The high ride height means it's incredibly easy to get in and out of. The doors are wide enough to accommodate awkward loads, and there's plenty of room in the boot for all your stuff. Practicality-wise, it's really good. Now, the acid test in deciding whether this car is any good is, of course, how well it drives, and I'm happy to report that the Qashqai does really well in this regard. I'm driving the version with a 1.6 DCI engine. It's a turbo diesel, and the numbers really do speak for themselves. 62.8 miles per gallon, 119 grams per kilometer of CO2, and 130 brake horsepower. If that last number doesn't sound like an awful lot, then get this, it generates 320 Newton meters of torque, and that's quite a lot. It's actually quite punchy and responsive most of the time. It does have some weird quirks about it though. There's quite a lot of turbo lag in this car, which means not an awful lot happens below 2000 RPM. It's especially apparent when you change up a gear. There's that kind of bogging down you get initially below 2000, but then when it goes above 2000, all hell breaks loose, and you really do feel some fireworks. It can be a lot of fun. Now, obviously, after a while, you get used to the characteristics of the engine, and you can balance it. You can get it in the right power band to make sure that it is responsive and smooth. But if you want to have fun with it, it's right there to be played with. Even the handling, which is never going to be spectacular in a car with this ride height at this price point, is okay. You do roll around a bit if you're enthusiastic through the corners, but genuinely, it's not that bad. It doesn't feel like a big lumbering 4x4. It feels more like a big lumbering hatchback. But you can have a bit of fun with it getting from A to B. When you've arrived at your destination, that's when things get really cool. The car has a very useful around view monitor or AVM system, which uses 4 cameras, one at the rear, one on each side, and one at the front, as well as this screen which stitches all 4 camera views together to give you a top-down, bird's-eye view of the action. It makes parking and reversing exceptionally easy. Plus, you have a dedicated reverse view, which you can also change to a front view to help judge how close you are when parking with your bumper up against a wall or another car. It's really useful, although the screen is a little too small for my liking. All in all, the Qashqai is, dare I say it, brilliant. I still want my 2-seater sports car, but I really can't fault this thing. Nissan sells nearly 8,500 of them every single month, and I can really see why. Yeah, you could argue that every one of those 8,500 people are being dragged into a dealership, reluctantly handing over their checkbooks and kissing their automotive dreams and aspirations goodbye, but that's really not the case. The Qashqai might not be the car you dreamed of when you were a kid, but you'll be more than happy waking up to it every morning as an adult.